Yes, sir. The Warriors come in and handle business on MLK Day. Steph and Poole combined for 73 points to lead the Dubs to a 127-118 win. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little nervous pregame when I saw Beal was a late scratch because we already know the Warriors have had a bad habit of playing down to their opponents this season. No Bradley Beal sets this up as a perfect trap game, and no team falls for the trap game like the 2022-2023 Warriors. I immediately got flashbacks to the Suns game when the Warriors got ran off the court by Damian Lee and co. Dropping this game to the Wizards without Beal, coming off a loss to the Bulls without DeRozan, that would have been a disaster start to the road trip. But thankfully, the Warriors handled business, moving to 2-1 on the road trip with the Celtics and Cavs coming up. Random stat. With this win, Steph Curry is now 7-0 in the Kerr era on MLK Day. The one MLK game they lost, Steph was out with a broken hand. I mean, look at this lineup they had out there. Look at this. Pascal, Willie Cauley-Stein. Come on, bruh. Steph came out aggressive early, taking 11 shots in the first quarter. He's been too passive to start games since returning from a shoulder injury. His 17-point first quarter was much needed since the Warriors weren't interested in playing no type of defense in the first half. In the fourth quarter, Steph did what Steph Curry does. He had 12 points in the fourth on 4 for 5 shooting, 2 out of 3 from 3. Curry had 2 disgusting step backs over Kuzma that were just filthy. I saw Kuzma doing a whole lot of talking this game. A whole lot of back and forth between him and Draymond. You know, he was talking, he was getting his off. After those 2 step back threes Curry dropped on his head, he didn't seem to have too much left to say. It gots to hurt as a Wizards player, seeing the opposing player from the other team come into your arena, whoop on y'all, and then get MVP chants from your home crowd. Man, that's gotta be tough.
Think about after today, though. At Boston, at Cleveland, home for Brooklyn, home for Memphis. What a
Here's what Steve Kerr had to say about Steph Curry after the game.
What's that like to come into another arena and get that kind of support from a crowd that's not your?
He's the modern MJ, you know. I used to see this playing with the Bulls. You know, half the crowd's got red 23 jerseys on, and, you know, now half the crowd's got blue and yellow 30 jerseys. It's just, Steph he transcends the game. He elicits an emotion from people. I think because he's so awe-inspiring with his play that no matter where we go, there are people who are cheering for him and can't wait to see him perform because we've never seen anything like him. And I think people can relate to him because he's not, you know, this superhero in terms of his size and strength. I mean, he's 6'3", 185. There's a lot of people out there that size, but none who can do what he can do. So he's incredibly inspiring, and as a result, we get a ton of support on the road.
JP showed out too. He had 26 at the half behind a 23-point second quarter. What's most impressive is that his scoring burst came while Curry was struggling. JP did a good job of keeping them afloat until Steph and Draymond closed it out in the fourth. He finished the game with 32 points on 12 of 20 shooting, 5 of 8 from 3. Poole's been struggling from 3 this year, shooting a little under 32%, but when his threes are falling, like they were this game, it's hard to check them. He's shooting 39% from 3 over his last 5 on 8 attempts a game. It looks like his 3-point shooting is trending in the right direction. Poole also played some of his best defense of the season. He was alert and active defensively, with 2 steals and a block. There's a play where he saved a layup. He just didn't give up on the play and stripped the ball. Poole's capable of playing a little defense when he wants to. The only obstacle was getting him to consistently buy into that end. Hey, look, bruh. I see some Warrior fans are starting to get on Wiggins since he's been struggling. I gotta chill, bruh. The man's working himself back from the longest absence of his career. If you watch him, you can see he's clearly out of rhythm right now. His jumper isn't falling, his touch at the rim is off, and he's rusty defensively. Wiggins isn't one to hijack the offense and try to get his. He's more willing to take a backseat and get in where he can. With so many offensive weapons with Steph, Clay, and Poole, it's easy for Wiggins to take a backseat while he works himself back in the rhythm. After the playoff run Wiggins had last year, I'm not really tripping off his regular season production because I know what he's capable of on the biggest stage. In front of the brightest lights, Wiggins not only produced, the man elevated his game. Wiggs literally leveled up in the playoffs. So am I worried about a small handful of games he struggled, fresh off the longest injury absence of his career? Not at all. And y'all shouldn't be either. Porzingis was on one this game. Even though he has a 9-inch height advantage, Draymond has usually bullied Porzingis in their matchups over the years. But not this game. Bro's looking like prime Dirk out there. Some of the shots he was hitting, I was like, alright bruh, you ain't really like that. He did his thing though. I ain't gonna take anything from him. Draymond was snoozing the whole first half. He had no type of defensive presence. He was just out there going through the motions. He even said post-game he was checked out mentally. But thankfully, 2 courtside fans decided to run their mouths. It was obvious. Whatever they said to Draymond, it put a battery in his back, because from that point on, he was playing like a man possessed. He finally flipped the switch. Defensively, he was everywhere. Offensively, he was making plays and diming up teammates left and right, with 2 made threes on his way to an 11-point fourth quarter. Hey yo, shout out to those courtside fans for giving us a motivated Draymond for the second half. The Warriors probably don't get that W if Draymond doesn't turn it up in the fourth quarter.
Did that fan saying something in particular that seemed to kind of fire you up?
He just was talking from the start of the game until I shut him up. He stopped, obviously, but he had just been talking like the entire time. So I appreciate it though, because I had nothing. I had nothing going. I couldn't find it. Wasn't about to find it. And then shout out to them. There was 2 of them. He got me going. So I appreciate those guys.
Anyways, that's all I got for y'all. If you like the content, like, comment, subscribe. Follow your boy on Twitter at Holly_415. I'm out, y'all. Peace.